Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Reclaiming My Life. Tonight, we will be discussing old school versus new age parenting or traditional versus modern parenting. So, as we all know, children they do not come with the manual. So, it's not uncommon for parents to compare the way they were raised to the way that they raise their children. Although it's more evident in certain cultures, parenting has changed over the time. While some parents may have learned from their own parents how to raise their children, others choose to completely parent a different way. So, in my research on this topic, I found that different views on child discipline are one of the most drastic changes that have occurred in parenting styles from traditional to modern. Now, for me, as a child growing up, we had to follow what our parents said. You were taught that when you come into the room, you speak to whoever's in there. You don't wait for them to speak to you. Things have changed. Nowadays, you have kids that's waiting on you to speak to them, and you're already in that room. So it varies, and it varies with different parenting styles. So I want to bring my co-hosts in, because this is a topic that everyone needs to have their own view on. And I just want to see where they're coming from as far as this. Claudia and Tiffany.
Yes, Jamaica.
Ladies,
How you
ladies,
doing this evening?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Speaking on this topic, I work in childcare and I see a lot of different parenting the styles. It's very different from the way I was brought up. And I will say discipline is one of the main things that has laxed. I'll say that. Claudia, growing up in your household, how was the parenting style? How was it hard? Was it rough? Did you guys get spankings? You were talked to. Tell me about it.
Girl, it was hard. It was rough. I got this butt beat, baby. No, being serious though, I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
truth to it, but not the way it sounds, right?
Right,
You know,
right,
but let
right.
me just say, my mother, I come from a one parent home. And
Mm-hmm.
my mother was a disciplinary, honey. You know what I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
home was very structured. Dinner time, we sat down, we ate together, we prayed
Right,
together. We did things as a family. So that's
right.
one thing, and nowadays I see where kids, they're gonna eat when they want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna take their food to their room. I'm like, who does that? I
Right,
mean, but that's just not how I was raised. So,
right,
during this time, this is how I raised my children.
right.
We eat together, we pray together, we do things together as a family. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's very important because it's not only structure in the home,
Right.
but also it's a time to connect with one another. It's a
Mm-hmm.
time for, the parents to hear what's going on. How was your day? You're having that conversation with your children. That's how my mother, when parents would say, I know you, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing. You can't get away with, oh, I'm good. No, I know you,
Right,
you
right.
know, but when you're not spending the time with your children, you don't really know them. You don't know what's going on. You didn't have a conversation. You didn't sit down with dinner last night. You didn't hug them good night. I mean, like I said, yes, when we did something wrong, we would get a spanking. But
Right.
at the end of the night, we got the hug with "I love you, baby."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just different things. So when I say it was hard as a child, we feel, oh, mama mean, or this
Yes.
is rough, or hey, but when you get grown, let me tell you, when I got grown and had my own children, I called my mama many times and said, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right.
And she said, what you apologizing about? I said, you were only doing that because you love me. You love me
Mm-hmm.
so much. That's when you can really see how much your
Exactly.
parents loved you. When you thought they were being mean, they were only trying to protect you.
Right.
So with me having daughters and trying to protect my daughters because I
Mm-hmm.
love them, I then understood why it was a no. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
able to do any and everything I wanted to do. It was because my
Exactly.
mama loved me. Okay. So
Right.
that's how my household was, structure. My mother disciplined us, but we did things together as a family. She loved us, she nurtured us, she spoiled us. I can't really say there
Mhm.
was something I
Mhm.
wanted that I didn't get if I earned it. Let me say that, if I earned it. So, when I think about how I was raised, really, I can smile. But,
Mhm.
yes, I did. I got a few spankings. See, I was a good child. Now,
Mhm.
but you asking about my home. My brother, on the other hand, that's how I know about the spankings.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But yeah, so.
Right. So you said, discipline, 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 which is good because, Hebrews 12 and 6 says he disciplines those he loves. So we have to be disciplined. And I see it
Yes.
every day. Children, they do things to see how far they can get, how much they can get away with.
That's the word.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think they love discipline because they feel like, well, if they ain't gonna do nothing about it, they don't care anyway. You know,
Right,
Right.
exactly.
right. So Dr. Tyson,
Mm-hmm.
what about you?
Amen. So I didn't get to see a brother getting spanked. So I was the only child growing up. But so, but it was very structured. Like you said, we sat down and ate dinner. It wasn't, I'm gonna go to the TV. No, you're gonna eat with the family. So we
Right.
sat down, we had dinner, we prayed. Because we grew up in the church, so we learned how to pray in the church. But then that was also brought into the home because I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and they believe in prayer. We also believed in, because my grandmother was raised by her grandmother, we believe in eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. So we always had vegetables with our
Mm-hmm.
meals, and we always had hush puppies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but being very structured, I remember once I did get a beating. I remember that beating, and I was like, I think I didn't want to lay down. I kept jumping back up and down. But after that beating, I said, okay, I don't want no more of those. So I made sure, she said, lay down. It's time to go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. So I didn't really
Right.
get a lot of spankings. I was one of those good children. So I remember that. I think that spanking taught me, like, okay, we gonna yes, we're not gonna do anything to cross the lines. But
Mm-hmm.
even with the spanking, though, she kind of talked me about why I was getting the spanking. There was an explanation, and like you said at the end, there was a hug. I didn't want to be hugged right then, but there was a
Right.
hug later. But I think you know of being supportive, coming from a supportive family, is very important because not having these things where you don't have boundaries. I think it's important. This is you got to go to bed at this time because you got to have class in the morning. You got to get up for school because if you trying to stay awake late at night, trying to watch TV, you're not going to be prepared for class the next day. So as you said, these things have taught us that,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you got to get a good night's sleep to be able to function the next day.
Right.
So being supportive when we have boundaries, where we're not, we're here, you can have this. I mean, I didn't have any temper tantrums. You see children now, they're out and they're in the store, and mom said, no, you can't have that. They'll fall out on the floor. And so you watch to see, what is the parent going to do? Are they going to let the child stay there? They're going to go and get the toy for them anyway to stop them from crying. And so you learn sometimes you got to let the child just to have their moment, lay there on
Mm-hmm.
the floor and cry, and then say, okay, are you finished now? Because if you give in, then they're going to say, like, wow, if I do this, I can be able to do that. I don't need to just have a temper tantrum every time mom says no, and she's going to give in to me and give me what I want. And so there wasn't any temper tantrum. So there was a time that mom bought gifts for presents, or dad bought gifts and presents, but it wasn't every time we went to the store, and it wasn't that you were looking for something every time you went to the store. So yes, it was very structured, disciplined, but not into the point where I was able to make my own decisions. Like if there's certain things classes that I wanted to take, then based off of my likes, if I wanted to participate in drama, this was stuff that I wanted to do, not that, oh, well, I want you in this class, or I want you to do this. So she also let me make my own decisions. So that was very important because that helped me in my adulthood and being able to make certain decisions on my own.
Right. Definitely. So you guys know what we're discussing. We have all three of us have talked about basically old school parenting. Old school parenting. You know, nowadays I see um A lot of young parents, I was a young parent, I'll say that, but my grandmother taught me, okay, look, you're going to have to learn how to take care of this child. So she taught me how to cook, and stuff like that so I can take care of my child. Nowadays, I see parents, young parents, they can't cook. The kids are eating out. So,
Mm-hmm.
like we all said, we sat at the table to eat dinner. They're sitting in front of the TV eating McDonald's. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I'm not used to, growing up, because going to McDonald's was a privilege.
Right.
That that wasn't just something that we did on a daily basis. That was a privilege. Um, so I think things has really changed over the past couple of years. Um, in my opinion, parenting style is doing what's right for your family instead of following specific parenting styles simply because you're told to. So, everything that works for my family may not work for someone else. I would say this, in my household, I did not get spankings, but the way my mother taught, I know you guys know, they give you that look. You know the look.
Right.
Don't act like you don't know the look.
Oh yeah, we
You better
know the
get in
look.
You
line.
know the look.
Yes, we know the look.
You know, these kids don't get that look no more. Like you said, they have a tantrum. They in the store. I'll be stepping all over them kids. If you don't get your crack up now, I can't. I don't understand it. I mean, I just cannot understand it for the life of me, and I don't know when it changed. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if it changed
Right.
because now we have a lot of younger grandmothers. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but it's baffling to me to see the drastic change. Kids they don't want to go outside anymore. They can fall and skin. They need to go to the hospital. Our arms be almost
Right.
broken. We good because I used to say the hospital
Right.
closed at 5 o'clock, 6. You ain't
Right.
going nowhere. We were tough. We were tough. So I mean, it's different now. You know, I don't, and I just can't. I don't understand it. And sometimes, you want to intervene, and then you can't. Sometimes you just can't. So,
Mhm.
question,
Right.
Coach Claudia, have you had to coach any parents about the parenting style or something as far as dealing with how do I do this with my child?
Yes, I have. And Tramika, sometimes I lose myself, right? you know, when I hear them talking about, the children and how they're so out of control and what do I do,
Mhm, mhm.
I lose myself because I'll be like, jack their behinds
Right.
up. I don't say
Right.
that though. I don't say that. But again, I let them know, how they should earn things. One, when you're giving a child everything, right?
Mhm,
Anything they ask for, you're giving it to them. What are they
mhm.
doing? You know,
Right.
I mean, what are they doing? They don't want to even sweep the kitchen floor.
Mhm.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You ask kids nowadays to do something, they don't want to do anything. I mean,
Mhm,
we was cleaning the whole house once a
mhm,
week, washing dishes every night, earning our clothes for the
mhm,
week. I mean, these kids
mhm,
now they don't want to do anything. But
mhm,
parents, I'm gonna tell you what it is. A lot of parents are feeling guilty, right?
mhm.
Because they're working 10, 12, 14
Right.
hours a day. They're
Right.
never home with the
Right.
children because they're trying to provide. The children are raising themselves and the parents are feeling guilty. So to
Right.
compensate, they're giving them everything they want. They let
Yeah.
them do whatever they want to do. And then
Right.
these kids end up with the wrong crowds and the parents
Mhm.
don't know anything about it because they're at work
Right.
Right.
you
Right.
know
Right.
so how do we pull it back? How do we pull it
Right.
back? Wait a minute, it's time to sit down. You
Mhm.
need to sit your child down, baby, because now we're getting ready to have some boundaries, we're getting ready to have some structure.
Right.
Y'all, I know babysitting I mean childcare is high,
Right.
but you
Right.
have to have a responsible adult with these children. And when I
Yeah.
say children, a 12-year-old should not be home alone.
Right.
No.
Some people think because your child is 12, it's
Mm-mm.
okay to leave them home alone. No,
Mm-mm.
that's not okay. That's still a
Right.
baby. And I
Yep.
know, technically not a baby, but it's a baby.
Right.
Yes.
Okay? 15
Yes.
years old. I hate to say
Right.
it like this, but they're hiding behind at that age. Okay?
Right.
Mhm.
They still
Mhm.
need guidance. They
Right.
might be
Yes.
responsible to do things in the home, but
Mhm.
they still need guidance. Okay?
Right.
So at some point, you need to sit down in your home, go ahead and have those boundaries, have those rules. It's time for you to have structure in your home. Although I might not be home when you get home at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, right? But when I get
Mm-hmm.
here at 7 o'clock, I expect for this to be done. Do not open that door. Do not answer that phone. Look, Tamika, go back to old school. When our parents
That
said, do
part.
not, hey, baby, when they looked at you and said, do not answer that phone, do not open that door, do not,
Mm,
you'll be scared to do anything.
Right.
that's right.
Don't touch the knob, baby. Don't
Yeah,
even touch the knob because mama gonna come home and say you open that door because she can tell the knob was touched.
exactly. Exactly.
you
And you
know,
get that knock,
but the,
you get that knock on the door, and it's your mama. Mama said, "Don't open that door for nobody."
okay, that part. But I'm not saying, but you know how we would say, parents put the fear in a child, but that doesn't
Yeah,
mean fear that you're
right,
fearful of
Right.
your parents, but
Right.
right,
just fearful of, the outcome of you not
right.
following instructions.
Exactly.
We need
Yeah.
to put the fear into these children, right? In
Mm-hmm.
other words, let them know who's in charge,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because a lot of these teens, and children, they feel like they the mama.
They in charge.
You
Right.
you see little
Yeah.
kids telling their parents, "No, I ain't gonna do this," and I be looking
Mm-hmm.
like, Claudia, keep it moving.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
Yep.
again, going back to old school, let me see your child doing that, Tramika. I
You better
got
get.
him.
Right.
You're right.
I got
Because
him.
But you
You
can't do that now, though. You can't do that now.
you can't do
right.
that.
You can't do that
Right.
now. The
You
parent
know?
is ready to jump on you.
Okay. And then this is my last thing. Another reason is you see a lot of young adults on drugs now.
Right.
Yes.
If
Yes.
they're not on drugs, they're in the room with their boyfriends.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking it right on back to Dr. Tyson.
Right.
Mental health
Right.
Mm-hmm.
is a big reason why people can't raise their kids because
Indeed.
Right.
they don't even feel present.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Whether they're
That's
strung out on drugs or they're overwhelmed with their bills, single trying to provide.
Right.
mm-hmm.
You
No
can't
support.
function. You can't raise no children, baby, when that mental health
Right.
is not right.
Mm-mm.
That part.
No.
Yep. That's true. Dr. Tyson.
Yes, ma'am. So something
Yeah.
that you said really key. I think a lot of kids now are staying home by themselves. That's why I'm an advocate for after school programming. I never
Mm-hmm.
stayed home by myself. I would either go to some type of activity that I was in. So I think it's important for parents, especially if you're a single parent, to utilize these after school programs. That's why they're there, so that your child is not what we call a latchkey kid, being home alone, getting into trouble, hanging out on the street, hanging out with the wrong kids. Because sometimes when the kids are home alone, they tend to wander off and get into these other outside activities that they shouldn't be involved in, like you said, drugs or gangs or things like that. But definitely after school program, one, there's someone there to watch the child or someone there to help the child with the homework. Because again, as you said, we may not know what's going on at home. We don't know if the parent has a mental illness. We don't know if the parent's dealing with a substance abuse issue. We don't know if the parent's single. So another key thing is having that support. Single parents do need that support if they can't rely on a grandparent or another family member. Again, one of the support is an after school program. And then that's also where not only the kids can socialize with other kids their age, but also learn about other different activities, STEM or math club or things like that. So it's so important because they introduce music sometimes at these after school programs. So I
Right.
think having a responsive adult to watch the child after school is important. If having support systems is very important for the family, knowing what your resources are, and if you are a parent that's dealing with mental health, getting your own mental health taken care of, because it's very difficult for a parent who's dealing with depression or anxiety or bipolar or alcoholism or drug abuse to be able to help that child, give that child the support that they need. Also, letting that child see what's a positive environment like, because they're like, wow, I'm acting this way, I'm not acting out because one, my parents not there, or because I don't see what I need to see at home. I'm not feeling loved at home. Maybe that parent didn't get the love that they needed or the support that they needed. So it
Right.
depends on what your environment is as well.
Right. Thank you, ladies. So I'm going to close with this. Some of the most rewarding and challenging relationships we have are with our children, but we know how important it is to raise our kids with love and intentionality. Continue to love on your child, but also set boundaries. We thank each and every one of you for watching us for another episode of Reclaiming My Life. Thank you.